upon a time, there were a lot of people all living on the land. They did pretty well, but they had some problems with crime and the roads and some other things. And they thought, we need to be better organized. They realized that there were some things that individuals can't always do for themselves, which ought to be done in a more centralized way. So the people got together and chose a few responsible, upstanding folk from among them to form a new organization which would handle certain things for the common good. The people delegated to this new organization rights to do things like deliver the mail and keep an eye on trade and commerce and to generally care for and protect the people. And this wonderful new organization faithfully represented and served the people and carried out the will of the people and kept them all safe and secure. And the people called this new thing government. The end. That is the fairy tale that we were all taught about the origin and purpose of government. Tonight I'd like to tell you a different story. And you can decide whether this story is hypothetical or historical or something else. Now let me set the scene. Playing the villain tonight will be me. An older man, I won't say gentleman because he's not, having a talk with his son, who's sitting in that chair. Imagine a big picture window and a son. You've probably been expecting this talk for a while because I'm getting up there in years, and you finished the whole college thing, and I'm sure you know it's about time we start talking about you taking over the business for me. Now, it may be a year from now, it may be 10 years from now, but it's time you started learning the ropes. Now, I'm not talking about a plumbing business or a restaurant or a construction business or any number of the things that the peasants out there waste their time doing. No, we have a very different business, son. Our business is ruling the world. And you have to understand, we were put here to manage and control and to rule over the human race. They were put here to serve us. We were meant to be the masters of the world. And it's time you joined our club and started to be part of this. Now I know, if you're anything like me, and I know you are, that you're looking forward to all the power and money that this is going to give you. But there's a few things you need to know. First, now, you may think you can hire a few thugs and go out there and start running an extortion racket and build up from there. That is not how it works anymore, son. That is not how it works. You cannot rule by brute force alone. You get a bunch of mercenaries doing your bidding, you never know when they're going to decide they don't need you anymore. Everything you work for, gone. And ever since the peasants out there have gotten their hands on firearms, well, that's made it really tough to do it by violence alone. For starters, they can shoot your thugs, but if things really get bad and they put the crosshairs on you, game's over. No, you need a brain. You need a plan instead of brute force. Now, I wrote down some notes so I would make sure don't miss anything. We'll be going over this again and again until you have it down cold. Now, the goal is simple. All the wealth, all the peasants out there are producing should be at our disposal. It belongs to us. All of their efforts, all of their accomplishments should benefit us first and foremost. All their stupid hopes and dreams and goals and aspirations, they don't matter. They are our livestock to be herded and controlled and managed to suit our agenda. But son, those aren't cows. If you do this wrong, if you do it by brute force, if you do it openly, if they can see your intentions, if they know what you're trying to do, they're going to resist. And you will never succeed. You have to play the savior. However much contempt you have for the peasants out there, and God knows I despise them, you cannot show it for a second. If they ever know what you think of them, you're done. You will have no power. You play the savior. You will rule and enslave them under the guise of serving and protecting them. Basically, what you have to do is get them to advocate their own enslavement. Get them to beg you to oppress them. Now, I know that sounds ridiculous and it sounds impossible. Why on earth would they ever do that? You have to know how to use deception to make them want that, to make them think it's a good idea. When you grab control over them, you want them to think it was their idea to give you power. You want them to thank you for taking control of their lives. You have to exploit their virtues. When the people out there feel compassion for the hungry and the needy, use that to grab power. When the people out there are scared of criminals and foreign invaders and disease and sickness and everything else, use that to grab power for yourself. But you cannot do it in such a way that makes it look like you're doing it for you. It always has to look like your goal is the common good. All the good things they want, the safety and prosperity and peace and security, every one of them can be used as a means to grab power for yourself. But it always has to look like you're doing it for their benefit. You have to pitch the idea that you and nobody else can protect them, can give them all the things they want, can protect them from all the things they're scared of. They will want to believe you. Out there you have millions and millions of irresponsible, lazy brats who want someone to come along and say, don't worry about anything, I got it covered. Just give me the power I need to protect you and give you what you want. So you're the one who comes along and promises to make everything okay. The people out there are scared to death of freedom. You have to feed that fear every chance you get. No matter how bad things get for them, no matter how bad you make things for them, their prime concern must be that someday they might have to face life without you. That's what they should be scared of. And the masters that came before you and that came before me, generations of them have worked and worked and worked to pound into those stupid peasants' heads that the worst thing that could possibly happen to them is have us not be here. Most of your work has been done for you, so don't blow it. What you're going for is a master-slave relationship. But you can't have it look like that. The people out there don't want to think of themselves as slaves. You have to twist things and make it appear as a parent-child relationship. You are the all-knowing, all-caring, compassionate, loving parent who will take care of them, who will protect them from all the things in this scary world, and constantly tell them, it's a scary world. Their duty is just to obey you, like good little children. And that's their only duty. Now, of course, you have to punish swiftly and severely any disobedience among the rabble, but you do not want them obeying you just because they're scared of you.
No.
You need to make them feel a moral obligation to obey you. They have to think that obedience to you is a virtue. They have to perceive your commands as the law, which no decent person would ever disobey.